Well, making another video. I figured it was about time. I've done a bunch of winter cleanup and I'm getting ready for spring. The wood chip pile is finally out. I'm spreading it along here. Next step is to go get one more load of wood chips this year. I know I sound insane. And a couple of pickup loads of horse manure. Horse manure goes on top, and then wood chips on top of the horse manure to kind of hold it in place, hold water on it, and make sure it doesn't smell as much as possible anyway. Yeah, this is as far as that last load got me. I'm not doing this front area because I'm not going to put horse manure here. I'm just going to put down the final load of wood chips over it to act as a mulch, and I'm going to plant lavender all the way around in that and around the side. So I need to, really I didn't want to be digging through more than I had to when I planted this stuff, and there's not a lot of room here for mulch. It's only an inch or two really, so I don't want to build it up too high. But this marking is basically where the new stonework is going to go to hold everything in and kind of level out this top part of it a little more. So I'm kind of filling up right up to where the stonework is going to be, so there will be less digging there. I did dig out this patch right here in this corner. It looks kind of funny now, but this is going to be Rocky Mountain penstemon. It's a blue beard tongue is what it's called, but really pretty plant, and it does well in drought and in, weed seeds. Getting those out. Oh, and they're thorny. I really don't want those in there. Does very well in drought with full sun. Yeah. This is a bush that I haven't gone through and dug out yet. It's really well established. I need to either dig it out or just kill it. I'm not going to use it. This bed is winterized. It's fine. There's nothing really new about it. Same with this one. You can see there's a little hint of the grape hyacinths coming up. And the lavender is still alive. Some of it got a little toasty, but it is doing fine, especially considering we had about a 10 degree or less couple of nights recently. So, yeah. This is the trouble bed. I've gone through, and when I've been scraping off this sideway, shoveling off this walkway, I've been dumping it on top of that to try and keep as much moisture in it as possible. I also have started watering with urea, which is a nitrogen fertilizer. It vaporizes into the atmosphere relatively quickly. The urea does. Putting it in water and watering it down deep into it helps. But still, it's something that I'm probably going to have to do about every other week or every 3 weeks through spring. Big changes back here. So let's get started. I've chopped back and cleaned up this rose bush. I want to keep this one that I don't. I think I'm probably going to end up eventually burning this because it's going to be a huge pain to try and get the roots out. So I may just set this on fire. The blackberry, there were 2 plants here before. Now there's only one. The one that I got rid of was one that was creeping. It wasn't an erect one, so it didn't hold itself up, and it was just sprawling all over the place. This one is the erect one. It grew very well. I chopped it way back because it was planting itself, it had probably 12, 15 foot branches. So in order to cut back on that, having those few very long branches, you cut them down to about this size, or get them about this size, and have them grow out multiple shoots at once. So this is really, I'm not going to get a lot of blackberries out of this year, but I'm trying to see if I can shape this in a way that I want to keep it. I also have another blackberry coming for this patch. It's a primocane blackberry. So it fruits on its first year growth, and then at the end of the season you just cut it down to the ground the way I do with the raspberries. Very hard to find those. It's a relatively new genetic thing. It doesn't, so I don't know if the berries are going to taste very good because it's really grown just for that one trait, but I'm going to try it. Raspberries have been cleaned up. Blueberry bed is so-so, and I already have weeds growing in it. Grass and more grass. This bed is not, well, anyway, you can see the quality of the dirt down there. And keep in mind, this was mostly wood. There wasn't much dirt added into this or compost or anything like that. It was mostly just filled with wood and left for a year. So after a year, this is what it's turning into. Very good, I'll take it. I pruned back this bush and put all of the prunings here to act as a mulch in this area. This is going to get smushed down by the next few rounds of snow. But I'm doing it as a mulch around these 3, make that 4 current plants. We'll see how it goes this summer, but I do need to mulch over this area as well with something. This dried out really fast last year, and the plants didn't do very well in it. Not nearly as well as they did the year before when I was watering a lot more. And I don't want to do that much watering. That's kind of the point. So, gotta get a mulch, but it's coming. This is covered over. This is the annual patch. It's mostly covered over. I need to I'm going to move this in a bit to the other side. I'm doing this to try and germinate whatever seeds from, really the tomatillos left a ton on the ground, but whatever seeds dropped on the ground last year, I want to germinate them in the spring and then let the cold kill them off or till them in or something. Do something to get rid of that so I don't have to fight as many weed seeds all year. I pruned up. You can barely see it in there. One over there. This guy. I pruned up all of these current plants, so they should do better. This is where a lot of the trimmings from today went. This is actually quite a bit. And then I pruned up all of the trees, so especially this cherry tree. It was up to the height of the deck before, so I cut all the really long ones way back, and I'm trying to get it to bush out as much as possible. I don't want it to grow tall, but I may not have a choice. For the rest of them, I've kind of pruned them out, trying to get them into the sort of shape I want them to make them easier to harvest. And I think that's about all I have right now. Next projects, I'm going to redo the trellis for the brambles, the raspberries and blackberries. The soil testing center is reopening on March 1st, so I'm going to have samples of the soil from the annual bed sent in for testing to see if I need to till anything in. And that's pretty well it. It's been quiet here. It's cold, it's winter, but so now's the time to sharpen the tools, and I've also started several rounds of seedlings. So this late spring, starting around St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to try and put up another hoop house with 2 layers of plastic instead of 1 this time, and I'm going to try and grow stuff in spring. I don't know how well it's going to work, but what I'm starting is like lettuce and spinach and kale, and it's stuff that survives well in cold usually. Maybe not the bitter cold we get here, but hopefully the hoop houses will help. So that's going to be my next experiment. Thank you very much. Hope y'all are doing well. Take care, y'all.